Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Moe, aka Swedish Whiskey Girl. Today we are finally going to try the Aberlour that I did an unboxing of the other day. If you haven't seen that, feel free to check it out. And yes, a lot of you liked unboxing videos, so I'll try and do them when I have a possibility to do so. But today we're trying 4 lovely Aberlours. We're also going to compare it to the Aberlour Buna, but it is Valentine's Day, so of course Cody's going to guess again.
I'm back.
So yeah, we're just gonna try these 4, say a little bit of what we think about them, then try the Aberlour Buna, see how it compares. Yeah, so what we're trying are these ones that are called the Distillery Reserve Collection. They're non-chill filtered, and there's a 2 14-year-olds, 1 ex-bourbon, 1 sherry, 1 sherry 16 and 1 sherry 20-year-old. And yeah, we'll probably just read out the information as we try them. You like Aberlour, don't you?
I love Aberlour. That's why I'm here. This should be good.
Yeah, and we've been to the distillery, which was really lovely. But we've spoken a bit about that in the other videos. So let's start with the bourbon one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
We tried a bourbon one at the distillery, at the tasting.
We did, yeah.
And it was really, really good. You don't always get to try Aberlour in bourbon cask, but everyone I've had in a bourbon cask has been stellar. Really nice.
That has something so specific about it, but I'm not really sure. Actually, should we have some water in front of us? Because this one sits at 57% ABV. It's a 14-year-old. It's from a first fill ex-bourbon barrel. One of my favourite casks. So I'm excited. Now you try that and say what you want. I'm just going to go get the pipette and water jug.
Star of the show. This is really good. So it's kind of like exotic fruits for me, like mangoes, maybe some citrus notes as well. It's got really fresh vanilla, kind of like, you know, like good vanilla ice cream that has like little black specks in it, but it's like really sort of sweet natural vanilla rather than artificial vanilla kind of notes to it. But it's yummy. Oh, I'll squish up.
I'm sorry, I'm back. Yeah, that was delicious. I totally agree with what you said about that, like proper vanilla note. It's just so full of flavour. I was worried about this one because I always get worried when my expectations are too high. But yeah.
What did I say this was? 57%.
Yeah.
Quite strong.
There is something, it might be that vanilla, but it's almost like,
And this one is £95 a bottle for 50 centilitres. Can you buy these online, or is it only...
Yes, so the Aberlour shop has opened, which is why they sent these bottles over so we can try them to kind of announce their new shop. Oh, it's snowing. How lovely.
Aberlour whiskey, snow outside. Can you beat it, really?
In good company.
Yeah, if only we had that, it would be perfect.
That's really juicy. Sweet, quite chewy as well. Oh, I have asthma. Yeah, we'll probably add a little bit of water to that later on. Because quite punchy.
I think we're going to get drunk pretty quick on these because they're all pretty strong.
But I also think that's not unpleasant at 57%.
No, it's lovely.
It has kind of thick single cask sensation about it. Yeah, I really like that. Yeah, sip of water, and then we're moving on to the second one, which is also a 14-year-old. It is from a first fill sherry butts, and it is a slightly lower 56.5% ABV. Did you have the price for it there as well?
This one is £100.
£100, so
yeah.
£5 more expensive.
Yes. If you've not tried an Aberlour in a bourbon cask though, it's really special. You should definitely try. There's other independent bottlers that do some, but that particular one from this range was really good.
Yeah, I mean Aberlour's kind of, their whole range tends to be quite sherry influenced because it's a style that suits their character. But yeah, it's definitely, I know also in the comments of the unboxing a lot of people were curious about the ex-bourbon one. This 14-year-old, the sherried one, for me is a little bit more cinnamon.
Yeah.
Both on the nose and on the palate. Has a drying sensation. It's definitely sherry. You'll get it straight away. Probably a bit of that kind of oloroso, nutty.
Yeah. I was just about to say nutty. It's a very sweet kind of nutty.
Yeah.
Almost like some sort of baked almond kind of thing.
Yeah. I was going to say like a cinnamon nut cake of some sort. A little bit foresty as well. So.
Yeah. I would say definitely drier. But quite Moorish as well. You kind of want to go back to it, but it sucks everything out your mouth.
Yeah, I don't know what wood type it is, but could be European oak, maybe?
Potentially, yeah.
Because of those, you can feel the tannins.
The tannins,
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's yummy.
Now it's going to be really interesting to compare it to the other ones, because the next one up we have is 16-year-old. And it's also from a first fill butt, and it's 59.1%. And compared to the last one, which is a 20-year-old, which is from a second fill butt, and that sits at 52% ABV. I'll also have a sip of water. It's good when Cody's here, because he kind of makes sure I'm doing it properly.
I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to think that all of these are going to be very nice. But we'll see.
So next up is the 16.
So this one's £125 a bottle. 125. First fill sherry. 59.1.
Yep.
And this is the 2019 releases though.
Yes, these are the 2019 releases. We have samples of the 2020 ones. So if you'd like to see a review of those, let us know. I'm doubting it will be too much of a change because they're quite similar, but yeah.
How would you compare this one to the 14?
I would say this one's more golden in a way. It's cleaner and less, it has less tannins, I would say. Less of that cinnamon, dry, almost bitter sensation, which is still quite nice. It's just a different sensation in the mouth. I'll compare. So this is 16. The 14 is a little bit sharper on the nose. I think it's that cinnamon thing.
Was the 14 higher? No. Yes.
No, it's lower ABV.
Lower. Interesting.
But I still think the 16 for me was a little bit smoother.
Yeah, a little bit more rounded, but I think they're reasonably similar.
Yeah.
Sort of like intense sherry kind of notes, but really nice. I think you could get away with either of those.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's too much of a difference either. I think the 16ers has a touch more of a kind of well-roundedness, and I don't think you can taste the higher ABV difference.
Yeah.
That much.
Yeah, they're just out and out sort of sherry monsters, really.
Yeah,
really
they are. It will be interesting to try those next to the Abuna. But I do think we should try the 20-year-old first.
Why not?
Why not? And this is the little wonky glass. It kind of makes me happy when I get it because it's just a bit weird. And this is 52%. And the previous two were first fill, but this is second fill.
Doubts?
Nice. Also, I mean, I would say these are quite big in the sherry influence. This one, I would have to take another sip of the other ones to compare it. I'm not sure actually. I am going to try a little bit of the 16 again just to compare.
What's the ABV of this one? Is it lower?
52, yeah.
Yeah, this one seems remarkably easygoing compared to the other ones. It's
Yes.
52%, but it's probably because of how strong the others were before it.
I might need another sip of it, but it almost felt a little bit flatter than the others.
I think it's got I thought it was almost like a rum on the nose. It's sort of aged rum kind of note.
Interesting.
So it's sweet, but it's got the
Like molasses sweet.
molasses sweet, yeah. With
I agree with that.
Snow's picking up outside.
It's
Yeah.
snowing every direction as well. I'm quite happy we're inside with
Yeah,
whiskey.
and much thicker mouthfeel.
And we're back because it cuts out, and I was very worried that I haven't filmed anything at all, but I did. I promise I've not had any whiskey before this, you'd think.
I kind of hope she hadn't, so that we could go through them all again, because they've all been very good. Gonna get very drunk by the end of the video though if it keeps cutting out and we have to start again.
But no worries, we are gonna try the Abuna next and compare them.
Why not?
And then we'll try them again and have a little sip. After this first round, I think the ex-bourbon really, really stands out for me. I just love that. All the things that come together in that one.
I liked the 20. I think it was so easygoing. The two in between, fantastic, just sherry beasts. If you just if you like an Abuna, it's probably going to sit somewhere in those middle ones, I would guess, before we try it. But the bourbon is really, really good. If you haven't tried a Aberlour bourbon,
or any single cask first full ex-bourbon, I think.
Yeah, true.
It stands up in that category, definitely. But yes, Abuna. Do you want to start with Abuna?
Why not? Yeah.
Where is the Abuna?
I assume it's this. Is it not this?
Where is it? Where did
What,
it
the
go?
bottle?
Oh, yes. I just want to check. So this is 61% ABV. This is batch 63, also non-chill filtered. I'm just trying to check. So this is the highest ABV of anything we've tried today.
Yeah.
And I reviewed this recently. If you're curious about more of a focus on Abuna. But yeah, punchy, and also has a water here, so we can add it to the whiskey if we need to.
It almost feels, it's really nice, the Abuna, but it does seem almost slightly thin compared to the middle two.
I didn't want to say it beforehand because I wasn't sure if it's going to be that way, but yeah, it's almost a bit, the mouthfeel is thinner, and it's almost more woody, foresty woody than what I'm getting on these. It's almost like you have a really indulgent chocolate cake. This is just oozing. And then you have it next to your chocolate cake, which is still very delicious. But this just feels like an amped up. It might just be the kind of
it's probably the
single
age.
Cask.
Age as well.
The age as well, but the single cask aspect that everything's just so thick and like full of flavour.
Maybe we need to pour more in the glasses. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe. But yeah, it's an interesting comparison. Can I have the Abuna?
You may. There you are.
I mean, the Abuna is still lovely in flavour. Ooh, she is punchy though. Spicy. I'll put that there.
The bourbon is very good though.
Yeah, it's just such an explosion of flavour.
And that 20 seems so easy to drink. I think it's just because this lineup's so strong, but
yeah.
Oh, I could go through a bottle of that. Kill me, but I could do it.
Do you want to add a water to them or?
Yeah, probably. Add a drop of water to them all. Of course, when it comes to whiskey this strong, you've got to make your own mind up as to how much water you add in. Everyone's going to be a little bit different, so you have to see what suits your palate.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that any of these are unpleasant at this strength. They are really strong. I would say that if you're not used to cask strength whiskies, then these are going to be punchy, but still with a nice flavour to them.
That's the bourbon again. It's almost like powdered gummy sweets for me. Like
jelly babies.
Yeah, it could be. It's like ice and sugar on a chewy sweetie. And then the 14's kind of like sweet raisins. sticky toffee pudding kind of notes.
I think you get a little bit more bitterness coming out with the water on the ex-bourbon, but it's almost like what's it called? I think for me the ex-bourbon feels the thickest of the mouthfeel.
I'd be happy with any of those though. The whole Distillery Reserve range, really, really good. Really nice. They're excellent.
Do you have a favourite?
It's really hard to say actually, because I think I would pick up a different one of those depending on the day. The 20, as I said, is really easy. Really great example of a sort of rounded aged sherry cask whiskey. And sometimes you want to sit in your rocking chair with your...
Because we have one.
Yeah,
we do have a wooden rock chair.
Yeah, I dragged it home one day because I really wanted one. But if you sitting in your rocking chair and you want a really sort of dignified, well-rounded, easy drinking whiskey after a hard day, probably that. The bourbon is probably one I'd go to quite often. It seems like I want to go back to quite a bit because it's so sweet and different, but also very, very good. And then the two in between are like, if you want sherry, you're in the mood for a big punchy sherried whiskey, then I think those two can do that job. So the whole range, really good.
Yeah, definitely. No, I agree completely with what you said. And
the Abuna also good. The Abuna is good as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably say that some of these are maybe a little bit better in a one-on-one comparison, but if you weren't doing a one-on-one, you probably wouldn't.
And that's not taking things into consideration like price, for example.
Yeah, exactly. You probably wouldn't notice too much of a difference. Although Abuna keeps going up and up in price, they're not actually that far between it now.
I know, which is why I was going to say that if you're looking at something where you might be thinking about, say, the 14 first full sherry butt and the Abuna, and the difference in price isn't that much, then it might be worth a little extra to get that slightly like over the edge flavour addition.
Something a little bit different as well, a little bit special.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're only paying sometimes like 20 quid more because of how much
Abuna's
also creeped up over the years.
70 CL versus 50 CL.
That's
so
true.
That
is true.
Things to take into consideration. But I think Abuna is a lovely sherry monster, and these are as well. So it's been such a pleasure to try them. And we'll definitely continue to enjoy these.
You okay?
Yeah, it's just something stuck in my throat. Probably whiskey. But yes, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this. Please let us know if there's any questions about any of these, if you want to see the 2020 ones reviewed as well. And of course, I hope you're all having a lovely Valentine's Day. We're just going to have some nice food. Be around the flat, probably.
Food and whiskey. It's going to be great.
Oh, this is the most affection I've had in a year.
Yeah, I'll take that back.
But yes, feel free to check out the affiliate links or my other social channels if you're curious about those in the description here below. And as always, a massive thank you to my wonderful supporters on Patreon for being with me on this whiskey journey. Do you want to choose a glass? I'm going for the ex-bourbon.
I'll go for the 20 because it's the most expensive.
And we hope that you have an absolutely wonderful Valentine's Day. Sláinte Skål.
Bye-bye.